What's up, you filthy casuals? Welcome to the Casual Shenanigans Gaming Podcast. Joel, you were like 5 seconds too late with that. This is a show all about everything PC gaming related. I'm one of your hosts, GermGaming, and tonight I am joined by my fellow co-host, Joel.
How's it going, folks?
Dave, the not-so-evil Viking 13.
Hey, guys.
James.
Just James.
Just James tonight.
And
James
Debbie.
Hello, everybody.
The token girl. All right. And that's probably my allotment of sexist jokes for the evening. Thanks for going out, Debbie. No, really, we appreciate it.
It's probably good we can't see Debbie's glare right now. We'll probably just cut right through
I know what it looks like. I've been friends with her long enough. I don't need to. I can just pull up a copy of it on my phone.
Just the glare.
What?
Remember that picture I took of Debbie when she was drunk on the couch, cuddling chips, eating them? I still have the picture. There's like a piece of chips stuck to her forehead.
Is that her contact picture? Like when she calls?
No, it's not.
Like
No.
The drunk chip.
No. I let her have some dignity. It only exists in my phone. That's it.
Remind me to delete that next time you're in town.
If you figure out the passcode, go for it. No, but Debbie, seriously, we always try to get Debbie to come on the podcast, and she's not available to a lot of the time, but we're happy she's on this week. So welcome to the show. So we actually have a lot of news regarding GDC this week, Game Developers Conference. And I want to start, let's see, we've got them in kind of an order, but we're going to get to the topic of the week right after this. But is there any GDC features you guys want to talk about immediately, or do you just want to hop right into the main topic? We're kind of freeform tonight. I didn't really stare at the list for a really long time.
Let's do GDC first is my vote. What do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I was just say, I watched a 18-minute video today about Morpheus. It was from a keynote, and some of the stuff
that's in the potato match.
Amazing.
That's not in the news. That's in the potato patch. That's a different. The potato patch exists for the consoles, Joel. Don't try to.
It was at GDC.
Walk outside the
Joel,
lines.
it's GDC. There's tons of PC gaming news this week. That's pretty exciting.
It's called the Gaming Developers Conference.
And this is Casual Shenanigans, a podcast all about everything PC.
But I do remember it wasn't the PC gaming conference.
So accept the fact that we
that.
give you one section of the podcast.
Wait, accept the fact?
Accept it. Accept that we give you the potato patch. We
Your
let you talk about
lords, I bow
Bloodborne.
down to the PC master race.
Well, we give him one section and then he takes about 6 more.
I can't stop you from bowing if you feel like you should.
We all look like we're bowing to you.
You're just standing, tilting your head. It looks like you're bowing.
Or it looks like we're reaching up for Daddy to pick us up.
Oh, Daddy reaches down, James. Daddy reaches down.
What does that even mean?
So, let's talk about GDC. So GDC, Game Developers Conference, was this week. It feels like every year it gets bigger and bigger. Like, I don't remember this many big announcements coming out of previous GDCs. Is that just me? Like, am I remembering that wrong, or is that the case?
I think it's bigger this year for sure. There's more hype. That's definitely true.
Okay. I don't know if it's like bigger, but I think this year they definitely had a lot of really interesting announcements.
There were some really significant announcements,
That's
I feel
true.
like.
That could be the difference, yeah.
Yeah. Starting with, Valve was supposed to show off some VR at GDC. They're working with HTC. It's called the HTC Vive. What else do we know about this?
Jeremiah, have you caught the Valve, or I guess it's posted on Steam too, the announcement like 3 hours ago of all the stuff? They kind of have the page up on Steam now with the controller, Steam Link, Steam Machines, Steam VR, and all that stuff.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've got links to all the the latest, the final build of the controller, which looks really good. We're gonna get to we'll get to that when we get to Steam Machines. Let's save that for Steam Machines. But
Joel, if you get any darker, our viewers are gonna have like night vision goggles to see you.
I'm sending you light. Hey everyone, check out my light. This is a Patreon light. Thank you to everyone who gives us money on Patreon. It buys lights, cool stuff like that.
Now you can see all the dust in Jeremiah's office.
And I'm sending another light just like this to Dave and another one to Joel. So we should all be super brightly lit coming up soon. James, you already looked pretty dramatic and moody. So if you want to break that, we'll send you one. If you like the dramatic and moody look, that's fine.
And the exciting part is that Debbie's avatar will get really nicely lit here.
Yeah, how's my lighting right now? Is it good? Or?
I don't know. How's that headset we bought you?
It's nice.
Yeah, your lighting looks good.
Okay.
Although your giant anime eyes creep me out every time I look towards the
I'm just
screen that has
glaring
Skype
at
on.
you as usual.
It's not a glare. It's a pleasant look, but it's a look that says, I'm only pleasant because I have to be, not because I want to be. Maybe I'm reading too much into that.
Nope, you're correct.
Anyway, back to VR. What does everyone think about the HTC Vive? Does anyone know anything about the HTC Vive? All I
I
heard
actually
was
had
about it
more
was people.
Valve branding on it instead of HTC. That's just like a aesthetic thing.
Yeah, doesn't seem kind of unlike Valve to partner with a cell phone company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was surprised.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't super impressed. I mean, like, I don't really honestly know that much about the technology of it. I haven't been able to find any significant stats on it, so it might be out there. I've heard some decent things from it. Like some people have said it works well, but nothing that's been out of this world. The best bit of news I heard about it is more of what they actually got to do. Was it was an Aperture Science demo, and they had if you played Portal 2, the 2 robot characters. If you played co-op, Atlas, the taller one robot. Basically, the whole demo is you can actually physically walk around him, disassemble him with parts and stuff, and do a couple little things like that. And they said it was pretty awesome looking.
And Joel, there's actually a leaked video like of recording through the goggles of that. And
Oh,
apparently
really?
That's the first footage of Source 2, which was also announced by Valve. You want me to find you the video?
Yes, definitely.
All right, I'll find
I might
you
have
the
gotten a
video
little bit of the shakes.
I would expect nothing less, Joel.
I'm wondering who approached who. Since Samsung has their semi VR thing going on.
Yeah, I wonder, because it would be weird for HTC to go, hey, you know who wants to partner with us? Let's go talk to Valve. Like, that would be kind of weird. But it would also be weird for Valve to go, man, who's really killing it in cell phones? Like, let's go talk to HTC. I wonder if maybe Valve put out a couple feelers, like, hey, we're looking for hardware partners for a possible VR collaboration.
Don't you have an
and
HTC?
jumped on it. I did. I have a Samsung now.
What do you have, James?
I have an LG.
HTC, they're
LG,
still
my bad.
They're pretty big in cell phones.
HTC and LG confused.
They're pretty big, but they're not as big as they used to be. I think they haven't had like a really awesome flagship in a while, have they? People like the one, the M7, the M8, and the M9, but like they're not doing Galaxy numbers or iPhone numbers or anything.
You know, I owned a HTC One M8 for like 5 hours.
Wow, that quick?
Yeah. I went with the LG G3. Love it so much better.
Dave, did you mean to put the Twitch link in there?
Yeah, Dave,
Nope.
you just... Oh, Dave. All right, so we're going to move on.
Copy and paste failed.
We'll move on from the HTC Vive. There's not a whole lot to talk about it now, except actually, rumors are that the card running that demonstration was the AMD 390X in a heretofore unreleased.
Are we going to talk about that now too?
We are going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that quite yet. Well, there's nothing confirmed to talk about with that. That's the problem. It's all speculation.
I want to roll it up
confirmed.
into the two big announcements. Nvidia announced the TitanX.
Yes.
Which
I need to put that in here. Yeah.
Well, before we move on, I guess we could maybe we can talk about this later. But someone else announced VR today too, for like watching movies. Did you guys see that?
I didn't.
You know that.
I'll pop it in the
It
chat.
doesn't sound like something I want.
Speaking of VR with movies, I was driving my brother back home last night for hours, and we were talking about, and a studio used to work in California, like a sound studio. They would have an entire big movie theater in there, so they can actually run like physical tests of how the sound is working for 5.1 and surround sound and everything. And the company that he worked for ended up going under. Like, it was there for 30 years, but this one guy who owned it basically just, made a lot of bad choices. And so anyways, it's gone. But it made me, when we were talking about VR, I was like, I can imagine in the future with VR being super high res, like imagine we get to 6K VR. You don't have to have an actual theater anymore to kind of get that experience of being able to be in the theater, maybe test some stuff. I bet you could see some of that stuff actually helping you to, get an idea of what it looks like on a bigger scrin without actually physically having to have a bigger screen.
Maybe. That thing that James just sent out, that is ugly.
Yeah, my point was, I almost feel like the market's starting to become so fragmented
with VR. No one's released one. It's kind of like Steam machines up until GDC. No one had released one. Everybody's talking about what they might be, and no one has a product to actually stick it in your hands yet.
Well,
And
Alienware
people
is
are
the first one that kind of jumped the gun.
Well, no, it
Put
was Steam
something
machines.
that was Steam Machine-like.
Right. I was just making the comparison between
Yeah.
there's been a lot of talk about Steam machines. There hasn't been a whole lot of here's a Steam machine, you can buy it right now. And Alienware did do that, but I mean that all kind of changed at GDC this year.
But the difference between something like Steam Machines and this is, if the developers happen to take into consideration 3 different types of headsets.
They're not going to,
Yeah.
which we'll get to that when we talk about Morpheus. We'll talk about all the rest of the VR stuff when we talk about Morpheus, but DirectX 12 features were talked about. Okay, this does not sound there's any way this is actually going to happen. Cross manufacturer, cross chip SLI and Crossfire. Supposedly, DirectX 12 will support you can
SLI
run
fire.
an NVIDIA and AMD card together, combining the performance. Even if this is theoretically
That's called
possible,
a house fire.
yeah, even if that's theoretically possible, can you see any circumstance where either of those companies would want to support that?
I think AMD would, and I think Nvidia would be the one that would be like we're gonna somehow lock this down at a hardware level to prevent it.
AMD will put out the, they'll just put out with FreeSync and Game DVR, they'll just put out the code for free and be like, hey, this is how it works, do whatever you want. No one will support it. NVIDIA will lock it down and everyone will move on.
Well, it's like today with Unreal 4 being free. There's like a big press release, like Nvidia has released like the source code for PhysX, and it's like, what? Are you serious? Like, oh well, the CPU based PhysX, awesome. The super slow version, thanks. like Nvidia definitely is in love with their proprietary technology. What's cool about this possibility for the cards in DirectX 12 though is that you could also combine a weaker card like from the same brand or manufacturer. So you could do like a 970 and like a 950. And that's worked before for stuff like PhysX, where a few years back when Nvidia bought up what was that physics card manufacturer that was gonna be like all the rage.
Were they just called PhysX?
Was it?
I think they just
PhysX
bought
cards.
PhysX.
That's right. Yeah,
I think
wow.
so,
It
yeah.
seems like ages ago now. That was like 2009. You could run an older card as a physics processor. I think I did it for the first Batman game. It worked really well, actually. Like you could crank up all the effects to stupid high, and you could have 1,000 newspapers flying around realistically, if you wanted that. But I think Nvidia is gonna be the one that's gonna try to shut it down, if that's even possible in the API.
Mm-hmm. Oh, if there is, they'll find out a way. But
Yeah.
DirectX 12 is supposed to be pretty cool. Although a lot of people are getting a little bit hurt that all their DirectX 12 cards they've been buying, it turns out, aren't going to be compatible with a lot of the newer DirectX 12 features. So if you really want DirectX 12, you're probably going to have to buy a newer card when it actually releases for games, which that's not really surprising. I mean, basically, that just means the cards you own now are backwards compatible. That's all it means.
Yeah.
Like, they'll still work with the games, but they won't support all the features, which makes total sense. Like, I think it'd be unreasonable to buy a card 2 years ago and expect it to handle features that hadn't even been developed yet automatically. Like, it stands to reason they'll come up with stuff they have to release new hardware for. So, but cool thing from NVIDIA, the NVIDIA Game Stream, their natural evolution of trying to keep their Shield technology relevant. Their new Shield gaming console is a $200 little box that can stream games from NVIDIA's new proprietary Grid streaming service, backed by NVIDIA Grid supercomputers all around the world. Set to launch in May.
Laughed in the promo video. They had to have like the money shot of the rack of like 980s, like 12 of them in one unit, like processing. They couldn't resist.
Now, they said you're going to be able, on the regular Grid tier, you'll be able to stream games at 720p, 30 FPS for free. Grid Plus will offer games at 1080p and 60 FPS with a latency of 150 milliseconds. We don't know how much that will cost as of yet. Streaming 1080p 60 FPS and having it look decent is going to require, I'm guessing, at least a 20 megabit reliable downstream connection.
15
so I
is the
wouldn't get
official
too excited
requirement.
about that.
It's only 15 actually.
15?
And
Okay.
I honestly I hate to cite like this, but it was either IGN or PC Gamer that I read an article on earlier, and the guy who had tried the previous version of this tech was actually super impressed with the new version. He said that the only game that he really didn't enjoy playing on it was Street Fighter, just because it was the control latency was just enough to be irritating. But he played Shadows of Mordor and a bunch of other AAA games and said that at 1080p the compression artifacts are actually hard to see unless you're really close to the screen.
Well, that's how I felt when I tested, like when I've used the Steam family streaming or home streaming. Like there's compression, but it's not bad. And I think the bitrate I was getting was something like 15 megabit. So actually that's pretty similar to that. I was getting like 13 to 15 megabits streaming across my house, but that's a local streaming connection and it worked great. It remains to be seen how well it's going to work over the internet. But we'll see. Anything else on DirectX 12 or the NVIDIA Grid? I don't know. I'm not that excited about the Grid because it's basically a resurrection of OnLive. Like, if it's good, it'll catch on, but it's not like PlayStation Now is exploding in popularity or any of the other services where you can stream games. It's cool for some people, but it's not mainstream.
I like the design of it. I wanted to throw that out there. Just like the little unit looks really good with the little green LED on the side for the this little slash mark. And also, going back to DirectX 12, I think people need to remember that this standard is still probably like 10 months out from being finalized, if that, like maybe end of this year to get it standardized, at which point the developers get their hands on it, and then in like another year and a half, we'll see the first games that use it. Like there's some people
and the
who
first
are
games
like,
are not, they're going to say it's DirectX 12, which means it's going to be like one random little feature that's not, that'll be cool, but
well,
it's
like
not
NVIDIA GameWorks, the fur on the animals flutters extra. Thanks, guys. Or Tress FX, her hair looks like straw.
Don't offend Dave. Don't offend Dave. He likes those things.
I do, but I agree with Joel. Like
Dave Candy, that's their name. Those features.
Yeah, Dave Candy is cool and all, but it's not game changing until years down the line. And I mean, I've already seen people posting like comments on r/DayZ like, why isn't DayZ going to use DirectX 12? Like they should be embracing this new technology. Like guys, the game's going to be like on shelves before the standard's finalized. Like that's not how game development works.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't count on DayZ being out before it's finalized.
That's how long the standard has left.
Yeah, but you don't know how long DayZ has left. Like, I would just be happy if DayZ gets caught up to like DirectX 9 standards. Let's forget about
tonight
12.
on low hanging fruit with Casual Shenanigans.
It's there. I'm gonna keep picking it. Now, last week
that's only because you can reach it easily.
Ooh, I can reach higher fruit than that.
He can get the top of the tree.
Jeremiah eats like a giraffe.
He picks us up so we can grab fruit too.
Well, Joel's really enjoying that visual a lot more than I thought he would.
Just like,
There you go, children.
You know I can pick you up, Joel. You know I
that
can
voice. It's fantastic.
All right. So last week I asked you guys for suggestions on what I should do for graphics card upgrade. Just a brief recap of my situation. I want to play The Witcher 3 on the highest settings at 4K because I feel like that's important to my continued happiness. But I wasn't sure because there wasn't like a clear upgrade path. I have an R9 290. It's a good card. A second R9 290 would be cheap. It would also, I would have to get a 850 watt power supply and my room would quickly turn into a sauna because one card is uncomfortably warm now.
Dude, the podcast would sound like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. No, this is a super directional mic. I'll still be fine for the podcast, but the potato masher might overheat. I don't know. Just sitting next to it. But this guy, this ties into the news story. Don't worry. Oh.
There it is.
Jake writes in to casualshenanigans@gmail.com just like you can, and he says, hey, after listening to your most recent podcast, I decided it was about time I write in with my 2 cents. First, if you want to upgrade your GPU and are not a fan of the VRAM limitations of the 970, I'm actually not a fan of the fact that the 970 is slower. I would really consider looking into the R9 290X 8GB edition. They recently dropped in price to about $450 to $500. And 2 would break your budget by a couple $100. The 8 gigabytes of VRAM will not shy away from 4K resolutions. As much as you might not like the idea of Crossfire 290s, the VaporX cooler will do you just fine if you have okay airflow in the rest of the case. The cards will be fine. I'm worried about me. Then his second suggestion, just wait for the 300 series GPUs from AMD. Best case, they have 6 to 8 gigabytes of VRAM each and outperform the 900 series, blah, blah, blah. And he writes in about something else we'll read later when we get to mail time. But
honestly, Jeremiah, I think that if you buy 2 of the water-cooled 290s, at that point, they really should just send a third water cooler to like attach to you. It's like a little helmet unit or something just to contain the sweat.
Like flash dance, or just water pour.
It's really the power consumption I'm more worried about. I could deal with the heat. I'd figure out a way. But I don't have to now because I think I have my answer, and it was just announced at GDC. The
TitanX.
No. The GTX 960 4GB version. Okay, because 960s are a pretty good price. They're about $200, $190 to $200. But they only have 2 gigabytes of VRAM, which for 4K is useless. Not useless, but it's not good enough.
Stuttery. You're gonna hit
But
limits
they've
quick.
announced at GDC the 4 gigabyte version, which I'm assuming means it's really 4 gigabytes because not even Nvidia is stupid enough to try to, like, if they just took the VRAM right out of the 970 and slapped it on the 960, they are going to get torn to shreds.
Dude, I don't know if they announce it ahead of time. I think they're gonna go that route to save the money and get it at a good price.
They can't, after the scandal with the 970, they can't do that. It's got to be 4 gigs.
But if they announce it as that out of the gate, there won't be a controversy. It'll just be not exciting. I think they're gonna do that.
They haven't announced it that way. They just announced the card.
Right, I'm not saying that they have. I'm saying that I'm expecting them to say that it has the 3.5 gigs and then the slower half gig
Gotcha.
at the end,
Well-
and just announcing it at the gate. Like, here's the ROPS, here's the actual stats this time, and they're just going to accept the fact that people aren't going to get excited about it very much.
I'm hoping it's a real 4 gigabytes, but we'll see. But why I'm excited is because 2 960s in SLI can easily run off my power supply because the 900 series is so power efficient. And they just announced they'll be bundling The Witcher 3 in with those cards. So, hear me out. And 2
It's a
960s,
sign from above.
2 960s is faster than 1 290, if anyone's curious. So, here's my thinking on the math. Okay, 2 960s, the 4 gigabyte versions, let's say they're 220 a piece.
Right.
So we're looking at $440. I can probably sell my card for $200. So that's down to $240. I was going to buy The Witcher 3 anyway. Current price on GOG is $45. So we'll just say 40 and we're down to $200. Let's say I can resell the second game key for $30 and we're down to $170 for an upgrade. For 2 cards that should be pretty awesome, and I can always dump them as soon as the R9 300 series comes out. What I'm worried about with the 300 series is it's probably not coming out till June. So,
Yeah, I think it's just going to miss The Witcher is the problem.
so what do you think about that plan, Dave? Assuming it's 4 gigabytes of good memory, what do you think about that plan?
Assuming that they actually retool the memory, which I don't think is going to happen. It's only been a few number of months since the 900 series launched. I'm not seeing a retooling on the manufacturing at this point.
But it's a 960 though. It's a different card. I mean,
I wouldn't expect it, but if that's the case, that's a pretty sweet plan, I think.
okay. Well, that's the tentative plan. I mean, there's no better choice unless I get like a giant power supply or whatever else. I don't know. We'll see. But that's my plan. But for everyone else, that's just an announcement about the 964 gigabyte version. It's pretty cool.
And you think you want to get 2 of them?
Yeah,
With
one
960s?
of them's going to be quite a bit slower than my card.
I thought
It'll
you've
be a
been pretty.
downgrade.
I thought you've been pretty against not just going with 1 card though.
I am
Are
normally
you just only doing it mostly because the cost would be about the same?
exactly. Yeah, I'm
So-
normally very for 1 card, and I probably will dump these as soon as the 300 series comes out, and I'll probably get the flagship AMD card.
So really, you're only getting it for just a few months for the free game.
Quite possibly.
To flip them.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is generally what I do with cards.
Sounds like
which is why
business.
I don't pay very much for video cards. That's wise because I tend to buy them cheap and flip them cheap and keep going.
6 months.
I mean, that's kind of what I do with honestly my MacBook Air. Like I usually flip it every 2 years because there's always usually someone who wants to have a laptop and get it set up and they know nothing. And so like I can sell it for a decent price, spend $150, get the next MacBook Air that has bump in RAM.
It's a
CPU and everything.
millimeter thinner, extra 2 gigs of
Dude,
RAM.
I don't want it any thinner. I don't want it any thinner. I can be lighter, but not thinner. Like I'm gonna cut myself in half. Like
There's rumors, Joel. There's rumors that the new one is going to have only one USB Type C connection, where it's the super thin Thunderbolt looking connection, and it's going to do charging and everything through that, so they can make it thinner because a USB port's too thick.
See, now I'd be okay with them just having like a couple USB ports, but just like a different version of it. I'll get like an adapter or something like that. But I hope they don't just have one little thing. But whatever. I don't really plug stuff into it very much. So, but I mostly just don't want to die. I'm gonna trip over it, walk into a meeting one day, and just get severed in half.
All right, we're now going to talk about Steam Link. This is cool.
Dude,
Okay.
I'm sold. Absolutely
All right, so
sold on this
Joel,
thing.
before we tell anyone who doesn't know what it is, what have you been saying ever since like the Steam machines were announced? What have you
dawn
been
of
saying that you
time.
wanted?
I think James and I have both been saying something like this, but I know I've personally said like if like a Steam machine is like the size of an Apple TV, like the small little Apple TV box, and all it does is just connect to your computer and just stream your games down there with a controller, and just be able to just click a button, connect to the PC, and you start playing games. I would buy that like right away, especially if it was a decent price.
It's been announced, and it is a decent price. The Steam Link basically is the size of an Apple TV, supports 1080p at 60 hertz Steam streaming over home network or the internet, supposedly. And it will be $50, or if you buy it with a Steam controller, it will be $100.
All right, so $50.
You know,
Well, I want the controller though, so that's
I want to try the
sweet package
controller.
deal.
If
I'm
it
so
ends up
happy
being
they
good.
added an analog stick on the controller. At least just one.
So if anyone doesn't know, the controller looks.
Joel's
it's
emotional
got the-
connection just doubled right there.
Yeah.
Well, I think they would have screwed themselves over if they didn't include one. Just because I think using two touchpads, I think is not going to be the best. It's going to be probably decent in between both, but you might as well just have one because it does have two touchpads plus one analog. So I think
I agree with you, Joel. I think for movement, an analog stick combined with like the touchpad, if it can mimic a mouse, like that might feel really, really good.
Because it has the haptic feedback. So on the touchpads, it actually has like some sort of, I don't know how it works, but my guess is it'd be kind of like how like an LG phone or Android phone, when you scroll or tap a button, it kind of vibrates a little bit. Like it's got to be something like that, but good, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Now, Debbie, do you think John would get one of these so he doesn't have to touch his PC?
Oh, definitely.
You think so?
Not a doubt.
I'm in day one on this. If it doesn't suck, I'm in day one. This is like exactly what I'd want.
Oh yeah, that's an instant buy.
Yeah. So like we're pretty much all in agreement. They've hit the price point. It's kind of like
that's the perfect price point.
It's like when they announced the PlayStation 4. As soon as they say $400, everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm in. All right, good. You guys won.
Yep.
There goes my money."
I don't know if I don't think all the specs are out for the controller yet, but one thing I would love to see if they do is, you know how the PS4 has like a audio controller or like a audio jack on it. It'd be awesome if that controller had that, because I'm trying to think of like, let's say if I want to play with the PC games downstairs, but I do want to talk with you guys on TeamSpeak. How would I do that? You know, it'd be cool if there's a way that you could like.
That probably wouldn't work with TeamSpeak.
Well, I'm guessing if you want to do that, you're probably going to have to get a wireless headset. And I've been debating getting one for a while, but I think it might be the right time to do it because I'm sure it's going to stream the game audio.
Astros sponsoring the Casual Shenanigans Gaming podcast.
But
just
Joel,
kidding, I got these for free.
But the problem with like even if it had a controller hookup, and we don't know if it does or not, I don't think it does. But even if it did, the problem is it can't just be hooked up. It has to go for that specific application.
Yeah.
So unless TeamSpeak was partnered with them, you would need to buy a wireless headset.
It might be kind of cool if they...
Or you could run TeamSpeak off
a phone,
or you set off your phone or something.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of like the logistics of how that could work. Like I guess a really good smooth experience. It'd be neat if they with the UI for the Steam OS for that specifically, if they up the quality of the voice chat or just the way you jump into that and maneuver it around. You know, I don't know.
That's true. Steam voice chat. No one ever really uses that, do they?
It's actually pretty good when you use it.
We did when our TeamSpeak went down the other day.
Yeah. Oh, so every day then we use it.
I mean, it's
guys,
not horrible. I just don't think it's it's not a great system. More of just how it's laid out rather than how it works.
I'm sorry that the TeamSpeak's been crappy lately, guys. I don't know. I just don't know.
I think their standards are just like super low, and there's not enough people complaining about it.
But so many people use it. Our TeamSpeak. I don't want to flip the switch to a different provider unless we absolutely have to. So don't worry, guys. We are considering other options. Let us know every time it goes down. Tweet at us. You're not going to bother us or anything. But we want to know if the TeamSpeak's acting up. Also, just a quick reminder while we're on the subject, if you guys like Minecraft, CSG servers, we're now hosting a Minecraft server on the Potato Masher from 5 p.m. to midnight Eastern Standard Time, pretty much every weekday and weekend except for podcast nights during the podcast. If you guys want the address, you got to pop into TeamSpeak and get it from one of the people there. We're not putting it wide on the internet, just for privacy reasons and because we want members of the community playing, not just random people drifting through. So definitely check that out. Finishing up the Steam Link thing, two other things. Source 2 has finally been announced, and it is free with a catch. The Source 2 engine is free for you to make your game on. You know it's going to run great. It's Source 2. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to run awesome, fantastic, but you have to sell your game on Steam. Now, not exclusively on Steam, but your game has to be available on Steam, and that's how Valve is going to make their money, which I think is completely reasonable.
That's an awesome system. Yeah, that's a very smart method of monetization.
Yeah, they're basically saying, hey, it's all free, but if you make a ton of money off this, we get a kickback. So they're not going to be profiting off of failed projects and everything, but they are still going to be making awesome money, I'm sure. Valve would.
They are the king of indie stuff.
And
Maybe we can make Half-Life 3 with it.
That's a bit of a more diplomatic way of kind of reaching deeper into pockets, because Unreal 4 went free this week, and their monetization is, I believe it's 10% past $3,000 gross for profits. That's the entire monetization for everything for Unreal 4. I've heard that Steam's rate is like, it can go up to like 25 to 30%. So they can kind of just say like, you have to release your game on Steam without coming out and saying like, that means we get a quarter of your profits from your profit. From your gross profit. So it's more expensive, I think, for developers, but I don't know, the integration might be worth it. So,
and then wrapping up that discussion, to kind of celebrate all the SteamOS stuff happening, like SteamOS is coming out this November. There are tons of people, like their official Steam machines are being shown off at GDC this week. Most of them start at like $500 all the way up to $1,500. So there's definitely something there for every price point. And the $500 ones aren't slouches. Like they look like pretty respectable gaming machines. And now the Steam controller's been finalized, I'm pretty excited to try one, see if it's any good. But wrapping it all up, the SteamOS operating system isn't worth anything without games. And, you know, it's based off Linux. People are thinking, okay, it'll be somewhat supported, but how good is it really going to be? Well, to celebrate GDC and showing off all the SteamOS stuff, Valve is running a sale on anything that's currently on SteamOS, the beta, or is going to be on SteamOS shortly, like
within a year, basically.
Within a year.
Yeah.
This is the sale, and I was surprised by this. Shadow of Mordor, Total War Attila, Dying Light, Batman Arkham Knight, Hotline Miami 2, Payday 2, Torchlight 2, Magicka 2, The Banner Saga, Chivalry, Medieval Warfare, Borderlands the Pre-Sequel, Saints Row the Fourth, Company of Heroes 2, The Talos Principles, Civ Beyond Earth, The Witcher 3, The Witcher 2, This War of Mine, Rome 2 Total War, War Game, Besiege, Grid Autosport, Empire Total War, Geometry Wars, Planetary Annihilation, Dreamfall, Battle Block Theater, Don't Starve, Defense Grid 2, War Game, Battle Block Theater, Don't Starve, Mega Pack. I read the same line twice. War Game, Tropico 5, Pillars of Eternity, City Skylines.
Because this really impressed me. I had written off SteamOS until this sale went live.
Yeah.
I had lost all interest in it. I thought the machines were kind of cool, but I thought it was just going to be a gimmicky thing. And then they dropped this sale with 1,000 games planned. And these are AAA releases. Some of these games aren't out yet. Some just came out. They're some of the biggest sellers on Steam right now.
Now, you can see in the icons, the ones with the little Steam logo are out on SteamOS right now.
Yeah.
The ones with the Windows logo, Apple logo, you can figure out what those mean. So they're not all out yet, but these are ones that are definitely confirmed that are coming to it.
Yeah.
So, for you guys, I have a second 320 gigabyte hard drive identical to the one in the Potato Masher. And I have downloaded the latest beta of SteamOS, and I'm going to be installing it on the second hard drive, and I'm going to be testing some of these games, comparing the Potato Masher running on Windows and the same hardware running SteamOS, and we're going to see... Now, it's in beta, so we can't draw any hard conclusions, but if there's a huge difference, we'll see the huge difference.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard that like Left 4 Dead 2 runs like crazy on it.
And I would expect that,
So,
but
we'll
that's a Valve game, so that's why I'm like, I want to test like
true.
The Witcher 2, because The Witcher 2 is still, it's a gorgeous, brutal game, like for system specs. Like it's, and it's already out on SteamOS, supposedly. So I'm going to be testing that out. It's probably not coming next week or anything, but it'll be coming sometime soon. So if SteamOS is going to have an advantage, I'm definitely going to try it out. I don't think I'm going to build a Steam machine because of the Steam Link thing. I'm just going to use that. But I'm pretty excited, and I mean, it sounds like you guys are pretty excited too.
Yeah.
I'm impressed now. I really am.
All right. So let's go right into some sad news. Maxis has shut down. The developers of all the SimCity games, right?
Basically, and some of the earlier Sims as well. Like this is the original Maxis studio.
The doors are shut, which I'm surprised it took this long after the horrible launch of SimCity for EA to shutter them.
DLC plan.
Yeah, Dave, tell us about some of that DLC.
Joel, did you follow any of the DLC for SimCity 2013?
No, I not at all. Like I think I've heard a little bit from you back when you were playing it, but
dude, it was some of the worst. Do you guys remember when in Battlefield 2142 they had billboards that had real ads on them? Like it's like set in the future. There's ads for like Gillette on the in-game billboards.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't last long, thankfully. This actually might be even worse. There was like a Prius dealership, like free Prius DLC. You build the dealership like at initial cost, and you can place like the little electric car stations around your city. And each time you place one, your population just gets happy around it. Like the most ridiculous marketing, like place our product and your city gets magically happy.
I don't want a city of people who hate driving.
It was a bunch of like stuff like that where it was actual brand name stuff that was literally just you were either getting free marketing of other people's products in your city, or you were paying for the privilege of putting their products in your city. And there was just tons of like, extra landmark pack for $9, extra theme park pack for $12, just a little expensive and very gimmicky. And I'm sure that's the only reason the EA let them struggle in the water for so long, was to just finish the DLC.
It sucks. I mean, because if you're a bit of a younger gamer, like, you probably don't think much of Maxis, but like Maxis is OG when it comes to PC game development. Like, they've been around for a long time, and up until the newest SimCity relaunch, they've been awesome. The SimCity series is one of the more revered PC gaming franchises.
They were my first PC games. Was the SimCity series.
Made a couple appearances on console, but they're like modified versions. But yeah, it's James and Joel this week again.
We're talking about the fall of one of the greatest developers in the last 20 years.
Well, we'll move on from that. We're sorry to everyone at Maxis. Hopefully they will be able to move on and get great jobs. We're moving on to something Joel wants to talk about.
Wait, hold on. Can I get anybody angry just real quick?
Yes,
to remind you, EA has now axed both Maxis and Westwood Studios. Let's just get angry about that for a second.
And so there's a common thread
Westwood
there.
Studios? What do they do?
Command and Conquer everything.
Ah.
Also, one of the
really
most revered PC gaming franchises. Like, if you've been playing PC games for 10, 15, 20 years, like some of us have, I mean, the SimCity series and the Command and Conquer series, like, they've been around for a while. Those are serious.
Yeah, I mean, I played
series.
SimCity back on like DOS, I believe. Like whatever the really, really freaking old ones were.
Honestly,
they were fun.
mean, even outside of EA's current ridiculous DLC scheme and stuff like that, PC gamers have more than enough reasons to hate EA just because of Westwood and Maxis alone. Like, two of the biggest and most revered franchises on PC destroyed, essentially.
DICE is next, if they're not already dead in our hearts.
Just remember, DICE is not making the current Battlefield.
Yeah, when does Battlefield come out?
Hardline?
Yeah.
A week or two? I don't know.
2 weeks.
The only way I care about Hardline is if someone has a PC version and they'll loan me their Steam credentials so I can make a comparison video for the Pit of Action.
Dude, I was about to say, I was like, that's probably going to be the only fun.
That's like the only way. I mean, if it comes out and it's amazing, maybe I'll get it when it goes on sale, but I don't think it's amazing based on any of the betas I've played. So
I don't know who could convince me that it's fun though. Just because Dave can have a lot of fun in most games that I think almost no one can have fun.
Oh, that's kind of mean, but sure.
No, I'm just Dave.
It's
just
almost like people have different interests
it's like Dave has an imagination that's amazing.
Yeah, Debbie can play Minecraft for 45 hours a week and have fun. So.
At least.
Really, basically, CSG Servers is just funding, like, it's just feeding Debbie's Minecraft addiction at this point.
You guys are killing Debbie. Stop sending money.
The couple times the server hasn't been up for some reason, I get a little message from Debbie, Minecraft? Minecraft server?
Debbie.
I start getting the twitches.
Hey, Debbie, Elder Scrolls Online is coming out soon for free, so just hold off.
Oh
just
my
wait
gosh.
for that.
But Minecraft.
Are you going to buy it again for the console, Joel?
It's free though, right?
Well, yeah, but are you going to buy it again for the console?
No, I think I'll probably just because I already bought it on Steam, so I think that copy should work fine and play. If no one else plays with me, we'll just keep it on Steam. But you guys can persuade me.
I'm not interested.
Yeah, no one's interested.
I just have other stuff to play. All right, we are
like
now
my games that I buy for you.
We're now talking about one of Joel's favorite things, NVIDIA's new monster GPU, the TitanX. I really wish
Contain yourself, Joel. Contain
someone's going to make the Titan XXX edition. You just know it. Like some like mid-40s balding guys right now going, I know what'll be great.
Titan
All right.
Triple X.
The TitanX was announced. What? Ribbed for your pleasure is what he just said.
Could go with like cooled for your pleasure.
Yeah, that'd be better. Anyway, no, it's 12 gigabytes of VRAM for your pleasure. So it's now the world's most powerful GPU, according to Nvidia, with more than 8 billion transistors, which is a jump from the 7 billion in last year's Titan Z, just in case your game has minimum requirements of over 7 billion transistors. It's powered
what
by...
that tells me, too, is
Counts those.
I hope the engineer's making the card.
2, 3.
Yeah, exactly. Like, at what point are they just like, just tell them a number. No
crap.
one's going to call us on this. It really has 1,000, okay? It has 1,000.
From the difference in the count, though, it can't be more than like 5% faster, 10% faster at most. It's not a huge...
That's the thing, is like transistors, that's not like direct speed units. Like, they just naming extra things it has.
It has
Uses 10
1,000 more
watts.
speed units.
That might as well be what they're saying. No one knows what that means. Like,
Yeah,
most of the people
yeah.
buying these cards. So it's going to have 12 gigabytes of VRAM. They haven't told us anything else about the GPU. Like, is it a dual GPU or is it a single GPU or whatever else? No one knows. They also haven't talked about price. Hopefully they don't release it at $3,000 like the Titan Z. Has anyone checked what those are selling for lately? Hint, it's not $3,000. Even the $1,500 R9 295X2 is now selling for $570. I've seen it for.
I've seen new Titan Zs on Amazon, third-party sellers going for $900. So that tells you how fast they fell.
Yeah.
If you put $3,000 into that card, well, you've probably already hung yourself, so you're probably not watching
That's
this.
the thing. This is a status card. It's not a card. All right. So Debbie, I'm going to use you as an example for a minute, if that's okay.
Debbie's asleep.
Yeah,
No,
Debbie.
I'm here.
No. Okay. So Debbie, would it be fair to say you do not care what's in your computer as long as it plays games, right?
Yes, exactly.
Debbie, do you know what your video card is?
Nope.
Do you know what your processor is?
Nope.
I feel like you should know at least one of those.
I really don't.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
How
fine.
many GBs does your computer have?
No, that's fine, because that was my example. Is Debbie's a
many
good example
GBs?
of a PC gamer. She likes playing on the PC, but the like what she has in her rig doesn't really matter. The exact opposite of Debbie is who the TitanX is marketed for. It's for people who are like, yeah, I need to be able to run 3 4K screens and triple surround just because. Like, why do you need 12 gigabytes of VRAM? Nothing can use that. Like, there aren't enough Skyrim mods for 12 gigabytes of VRAM.
Yeah, you can't turn anti-aliasing up high enough at 4K to hit that VRAM in anything.
So the TitanX is purely a status card. It's for people who want the fastest, the best, the baddest, whatever else. That's all it's for. So we don't know anything else about it. Hopefully by the time it's released, we'll hear more things about the Radeon 390X, which the early leaked specs are insane. The early leaks...
57,000 gigabytes of video RAM.
Joel,
No,
the leaked
let him
specs...
continue. I want to hear him keep going. What else does it have, Joel?
4 GPU quad triple axis pipelines that will fuel the best gaming experiences your eyes could ever experience.
Dude, you should work for Nvidia.
I thought
know
that
I
was
should.
the PlayStation 4, Joel, playing Bloodborne. Isn't that the best gaming experience your eyes could ever experience?
Sorry, I was talking as a PC gamer, so.
Oh, okay.
As just a gamer in general who enjoys games, yeah, Bloodborne.
The R9 390X, the supposed specs are put it at already 30 to 40% faster than the Titan X.
Yeah, that's more of that's a leap. That's not just like a generational leap. That's a technology leap.
If it's accurate, the
Yeah.
390X, if the leak specs are accurate, the 390X is going to be ridiculous. And if it's like less than $700, I'll sell stuff and buy it. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. I'll start pawning things around the house.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool. But that's all we have to talk about for that. So now it's time for the Potato Patch, a part of the podcast where we talk about everything in the wide, extremely narrow, limited release schedule world of console gaming. Now, we're not talking about Bloodborne because it's still not out yet. Joel, do you have any Bloodborne updates for us this week?
It's coming. It's coming.
Honestly, I don't. Like, I'm so excited. I'm pre-ordering on the 15th.
Are me, you, and
Soon as I get
John
paid,
going to bring
just-
our PS4s to the beach and all play it together?
I know me and John are, so you better
I'll
bring
bring
yours if
mine.
you don't want to be left out.
All right, I'll bring mine. I bet our internet's going to suck, but I'll bring
I hope
mine.
it's good enough.
I'll bring my PC.
I'll try to bring my projector.
Oh.
Oh, some people got excited.
Vacation time.
Joel switched from making fun of you to, oh, that would actually be kind of nice. Thanks.
I do appreciate your friendship, huh?
We're friends now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So, Joel, what do you want to talk about for the potato patch?
I would like, here's a video I just watched. I'm going to post it in the Twitch. It's 18 minutes. Don't worry about.
Yeah, we're not.
No, just for later.
Okay.
But I think the biggest reason why I'm the biggest fan right now of the Morpheus over all of them so far is has little to do with any of the graphics. Like, I think because that really doesn't matter when it comes to or VR making it into the consumer market. People actually wanted to buy it, and it becomes a thing, right? This video I'm about to paste. Sorry, I pasted it twice for some reason.
We know what the chat's going to be doing the next 18 minutes.
Yeah, basically in this video, they just talk about all the different things they're learning, and I watched it last year.
Who's they?
And Sony, just their team working on Morpheus. And one of the most unique things they're talking about is like, how do you keep people not only just immersed in the game, but connected to it? And how do you get around all the different problems that are involved with gaming in general, right? So here's one of the drawbacks of the Oculus right now. If you buy the Oculus, you're having a lot of fun with it. You're playing the game. Everyone's sitting there. They can't see what you're doing. They just can't see. You can't share with the experience. The PS4 one, it's going to be relayed to to your TV in the living room, because they said it's really important for, if you're having fun, other people need to be having fun too. It can't be just a singular experience, because that helps.
That's a good point.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, dude, I want to try it next. You know, like, that is a huge thing to make it.
Because we experienced that, Joel, trying out your Oculus Rift playing Alien, where you were basically
we could kind of get it to work, and it was way more fun seeing what Dave was looking at, than by itself.
You were having to watch the little OBS window, weren't you? I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But then another thing they were talking about is, they have the controllers, like the PlayStation 4 controllers already have like the LEDs on the front, and they already have kind of motion tracking built into it. And they were saying, how do you use it to create a really interesting experience, right? And so they tested a lot of things where they said people, like certain games, people felt really odd in the game without being able to see your hands, right? Like, it just feels weird because you look down, you have no body, you don't know where your hands are in relative space to the game. And so what they did is they said, well, maybe this will look really stupid, but they brought the PS4 controller into the virtual world, right? So as you're holding the controller, you can actually see it moving around in 3D space. It doesn't show your arms, but every time you move the joysticks, everything, it moves on screen. Huh. And they said that really connected the player just to the game. They felt like they knew where they were, relations, everything. And so if they set your controller down, you don't have to take your headset off to know where you put your controller.
That's cool.
Now that makes sense, because the controller has the motion sensitivity and stuff already built in. That's pretty
so you can
smart.
kind of see it blinking and stuff. But they showed off some really interesting
If somebody picks
mechanics.
it up, is it going to float away?
I'm lost in virtual reality.
The thing clamps onto your eyes.
That was a great scream, Joel.
As soon as someone leaves, it starts playing the Saw demo. No! Actually, that would be an excellent VR game, actually, a Saw demo.
Be tortured to death? Yeah, that's a gas.
One of the really cool mechanics they were talking about is, okay, so you have the controller up here as well, right? So you have the controller, right? And the camera they have for the PS4 has about a 75-degree, I think, viewing angle that it scans the room. So they said, if you tilt your camera or your controller all the way left, all the way right, it loses it loses 100% tracking. The PS4 controller does still have like rotational tracking, so it will do this, but it won't know exactly where it is in 3D space. So they said, how do we get the user to not want to move the controller out of that space of where it should be? So they came up with this thing called virtual like snapping. And I thought this was just genius, right? So you have the vibration in the controller, right? So what they did is, let's say they had like a motorcycle demo in it, right? It's kind of like a little scooter thing. So
follow along at home.
The scooter bar, right? It's right in front of you, okay? But they said they created, I think it's called soft body controller basically, right? So if you're in VR and you're not physically touching anything, and it's not you can't pull something off. You can move your hands wherever you want, right? They said to everyone's holding controllers, and then we just have Debbie's cat just screaming with a mouse.
She's hardcore.
So what it does is it actually shows your controller in relative space, and once you get your controller into the right space, like within the first, within a foot of the where it's supposed to be, it does a little vibration snap, and then it shows the animation on screen showing that you're in the correct location.
Yeah.
And
So now
Joel,
Joel's
what
gone.
was that point you just made?
Oh, Joel had to step out. Actually, had to take a phone call. So I'm gonna respond to the point Joel would have made about
Let's talk
Morpheus.
about why he's wrong while he's gone.
I already talked about why he's wrong with him yesterday, and we just have a difference of opinion. We both, well, Dave and Joel and I all talked about it last night. We all agree that graphics are not the most important things when it comes to VR. The immersion experience is going to be most important.
And one thing that
But-
Joel pointed out was in our Oculus demo that I posted on my channel where I was playing Alien Isolation, I was surprised to learn that the game was running on low, because when you're running it in VR and you're kind of looking through that screen filter, it's difficult to see a lot of fine detail, and it really is about the overall immersion and experience of the way that things move is the most important part. So the lighting was still really good, and that was important, but the textures weren't as high res and stuff like that.
Right. So why that is significant is because, like, graphics, maybe they're not the most important thing. That's good. Because they've said that Morpheus is going to run at hopefully 120 FPS. Now, considering very few PS4 games can run at a locked 60 FPS, and locked is very important for VR, they're endeavoring to run at quadruple the speed of most PS4 games and double the speed of some of the better ones. And they're going to be running it for both eyes. Now, they're probably going to come up with something clever like the Crysis dev team did to get 3D, where they render one frame and then come up with some way of splitting the frame and figuring out depth information from like an alpha map and then re-rendering it without having to like go through all the processing power. They're probably going to do something like that so that they're not rendering two 1080p 120 FPS screens. But I'm going to be surprised if any Morpheus games look better than a PS3 game. I'm going to be very surprised. And I'm also going to be surprised if this actually gets supported at all. James, correct me if I'm wrong. Pretty much every major add-on Sony's ever come up with for their consoles has been under-supported, under-advertised, and then dropped. Like,
Pretty much. Absolutely.
I mean, it's the PlayStation Move, the PlayStation Camera, the PSP, and the Vita have all been dying or have died horrible, slow deaths, and it didn't matter how cool they were. I mean, you're much like, I think you're much more up on stuff like that. Do you have any reason to believe that Sony's going to do a good job with this?
I'm actually thinking they're probably going to release a bunch of shovelware.
Yeah, it's going to be a bunch of stuff they have to pay extra money to get made because that's the only way it's going to work.
But I think it's going to be stupid games like, the iPad thing,
The log racing and
stuff that mainstream's probably not going to care about.
yeah.
So are you excited at all about Morpheus right now?
No.
Debbie, are you excited about Morpheus?
What's a Morpheus?
It's Oculus Rift for the PlayStation 4.
If it has spiders, no.
Joel ought to make that video live. It was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty funny to watch in retrospect, but not while I was experiencing it.
I kind of want to try it now because everyone who's tried it says it's really
Yeah,
freaky.
you really should. Like, you feel things that aren't theirs. Ugh.
I did it. It didn't bother me.
Well, me.
So yeah, that's the potato patch. It's now time for the Singularity Shame segment, a part of the podcast where we pick someone who needs to be torn down a notch or two, and we do just that. Now, we're going to have a quiz show tonight. James and Debbie, can you be our contestants?
Yay! I like this game.
Okay.
I'm making this all up on the fly. Bear with me. Each of you, whichever one of you makes the ding noise first, gets to answer this, and then at the end, I'm going
cheating.
to
to make sure it works.
I'm going to ask I'm going to talk about 4 features of Battlefield Hardline Premium.
Lord.
Oh god, I'm out.
No, Debbie, no. It's not that hard. Whoever dings first and tells me which game this feature comes from wins.
What are the
nothing.
2 options?
You answer correctly or you don't.
Oh.
All right.
From
So-
any Battlefield game or like where you play
any game. Dave, you can play too. You
Okay.
can play too.
No, Dave doesn't get to play
Battlefield-
because he probably
already knows. He knows which ones they are. He's already looked at these.
I'll listen.
Okay. Battlefield Hardline Premium has been announced. In case you were worried they weren't going to come up with a premium version for Battlefield
my
Hardline.
surprise.
Okay. Now, and Dave has taken me to task a little bit because I've made fun of the entire way they have been marketing Hardline. Is like they're just trying way too hard. And Dave kind of thinks it's supposed to be corny and over the top. He agrees a little bit with me, but he sees it as more of a little bit of a satire and parody.
The in-game stuff is satire and parody for the most part. It's their Twitter account that's gone full cringe.
Yeah. Do you want to be a badass bank robber? Drive these cars around and shoot people and capture points. Battlefield Hardline. Pre-order now.
I unfollowed Battlefield's Twitter because I could not handle the cringe. Tweeting stuff like are you ready to lock down the downtown 10-4 with your cop buddies and your criminal gang of entrepreneurs? Just like all these random just marketing buzzwords and like street talk that's not street talk. It was awful.
So, this is, I think, the cringiest part so far. They've announced, along with Premium, 4 super features that come with every copy of Battlefield Hardline Premium. That's the name. Super features. This is their website. As a Battlefield Hardline Premium member, Premium Hardline. The jokes write themselves. You can look forward to 4 super features designed to make the gaming experience richer and more personalized. All right, you guys ready? I'm going to read off. Wait till I'm completely done reading. Whoever dings first with the name of a game that this came from wins.
Outside of the Battlefield franchise, right?
Outside of the Battlefield franchise. And these are super features that you need to pay an extra probably $50 for.
The game is, which game was this feature copied from? That's the question.
Yes, that's the game. All right, first one. Now you got to wait till I finish reading it.
Okay.
Masks. New player masks with unique gameplay benefits tied to the theme of each mask.
Ding.
Payday 2.
All
Hey,
right,
I dinged first.
You guys both got it.
You guys
did
dinged
too.
at the same time. You dinged at the same time.
Well, I had the same answer.
But
James, just let a girl win, okay?
All right. Next one. Gun Bench provides players with the ability to visually customize their weapons and track their kills per weapon. Go, Debbie. You're supposed to wait until the end, but go ahead.
ARMA 3.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say every first-person shooter that has customizable weapons ever, but we'll accept ARMA 3.
The one that I was going to call out, and actually DICE, well, I guess DICE is only working on part of Hardline, but the second Medal of Honor had a gun bench where before missions, you could actually take your rifle and like set it on a 3D bench and like change all the attachments and stuff. So I think maybe more of Medal of Honor for that one.
Actually, yeah, I guess yeah.
You can change all the camos and like check all the angles and stuff.
I don't know, Rainbow Six, you could like in between mission mission
Rainbow
parts.
Six. Yeah,
there you could like this little virtual. Yeah, you could like completely redo your layout.
Okay, so there's a lot of games.
It was like an ammo crate type thing, but you could like go in and redo your inventory.
All right.
So mine was actually older, so I win.
Mine had developer relevance, so mine wins.
Next one.
You're not in the game, so you lose.
Wait till I'm done reading the entire thing. Competitive play. Support for competitive play through Battlefield Hardline Premium access only tournaments and ladders.
Come on, guys.
Call of Duty? Halo?
What's huge on Steam right now?
Shoots and ladders?
For competitive FPS? For the last 15 years, guys, if you think competitive ranked FPS, what do you think?
Counter-Strike?
Ta-da.
Do they have a premium, like, they have premium access ladders?
No, Battlefield is taking it to the next level and making it premium gated. Whereas in CSGO, it just comes with the game.
And now, here's probably my favorite one. Legendary status provides replayability of the entire progression system.
Ding, 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 ding,
Destiny.
ding.
All right.
Wait, what?
Destiny?
True.
Halo?
Debbie, does Halo have it?
I don't know. I'm just guessing. I heard legendary and thought Halo.
No, provides replayability of the entire progression system. There's an elephant in the room here.
Oh.
Think Battlefield, and then think not Battlefield.
Call of Duty?
Yeah,
You reset your rank.
Prestige mode. It's been in since 2007, since the Modern Warfare. They've had Prestige mode, and that's a feature they seriously want you to pay extra for in Premium to get. That's ridiculous. You also get
you can tell I was a one and done Call of Duty player.
For expansion packs, you do get 4 expansion packs with Premium called Battlefield Hardline Criminal Activity, Battlefield Hardline Robbery, Battlefield Hardline Getaway, and the best one, Battlefield Hardline Betrayal.
These
Wait.
DLC names have gotten worse and worse since Battlefield 3. Like, Battlefield 3 was pretty good. Like, Back to Karkand and Aftermath, like, it was Earthquake themed. Like, it was decent. Battlefield 4, there's literally a DLC called Naval Strike. Like, I feel like someone wrote it on the whiteboard when they were coming up with ideas and just never bothered to change it. It's about ships and crap, naval attack, naval war, naval strike. Yeah, naval strike. Let's just go with that. It's just
Now, there are more premium features, Dave. Never before seen features like 2 weeks
still
early
my beating
access
heart.
to all expansion packs,
that's
12
insane.
gold battle packs, new personalization options including gun camos, ammo skins, and more Battlefield Hardline Premium exclusive in-game items. Access to double XP in-game missions and more Battlefield Hardline Premium exclusive events, most of which will probably not happen. And then priority position in server queues. In other words, the exact same crap they've been selling us with Premium since Battlefield 3.
Don't worry though, guys. If you're worried about those 12 exclusive but not exclusive gold battle packs for Premium, you're not out of luck if you didn't buy Premium. You can just buy them one by one for only $3 a piece.
They're
Or if you want
$3 a piece?
Yeah, that's a sweet deal. So for only half the price of the original game, you can unlock attachments for the guns in the game that you already own.
You know, eventually they're just
money.
going to put a lock on the screen and say to continue playing, enter your credit card number.
Mobile games already do
I
that.
know.
Oh, that's just like that. I'm not mad. I'm just like, that even further reinforces, guys, like, quit screwing around the community. Like, all the hardcore Battlefield fans are leaving and all the COD kids are moving over. That's basically what's happening. Like, they're just pissing on the memory of Battlefield the same way that SimCity did. I guess we can just blame EA for everything.
Can I speak bitterly here for a minute, Jeremiah?
Yeah, oh, Dave, I've been
You
waiting for you
always
to get
do.
full bitter about Battlefield. It's been a long time coming.
This is where I am as a long-term Battlefield fan with Battlefield Hardline and Battlefield Hardline Premium. I honestly had fun in the beta. By the end, I actually was considering, like, I might get this on sale for a while. However, every blog post, every press release, every tweet, every tacked on feature diminishes my dwindling enthusiasm for the game. They're eating away at what little interest I had left in Battlefield bit by bit by bit.
They're just stealing Dave's craps. All the craps he has to give, they're just stealing them one by one.
There's almost none left, Jeremiah. Like, by the end of the beta, I'm almost like, hey, you know, some of these modes are kind of fun. Like, I probably wouldn't play this for hundreds of hours like I've really enjoyed previous titles, but I can see some enjoyment in this. And I'm looking at the premium walled content, and I'm just going, like, I don't want to care about any of this. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to hear about the Easter eggs. I just want a good game, and I want less of this. There's just so much bullshit in this game.
There it is.
Yay! Dave, it's come out.
I'm so tired of it at this point. I miss Battlefield, Jeremiah.
I'm sorry, Dave. I miss it too.
All right,
I mean,
I'm done.
like, if I can pile on to that,
Please,
Battlefield.
just-
We wouldn't be friends right now if it wasn't for Battlefield.
Yeah.
We were like kind of friends in college. I wouldn't have met any of the rest of you guys. It was after college, started playing Battlefield Bad Company 2 with Dave. Like, started playing again because I knew, hey, he's a guy from college who played it. You know, we talked a few times about it. So we started playing together again. That's how I met all the rest of you guys through that and DayZ. Like, that's how we're friends again.
Well, Debbie,
like,
do you remember
it's because
how much
of this series, this seminal gaming series I spent so much time with, just hanging out with my friends, and they are driving my memories into the
my
dirt.
memories? Debbie, do you remember how much John used to play Bad Company 2?
I don't remember him ever playing that.
They weren't married at that time.
That's true. Yeah, for a while, Debbie, it was me, John, and Edgar. Like every night, we're playing Bad Company 2.
Oh my.
And this is why John gets so bitter about Battlefield 3 and 4 is because he misses Bad Company 2 so much.
That makes sense.
Debbie, you never did Big Battlefield, did you?
I didn't.
Oh. Well, trust us, it's a big deal.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the Singularity Shame segment. It's now time for the mail. You can write into Casual Shenanigans at gmail.com if you want to be a part of the show. Jake, who wrote in earlier, talking about teammate recommendations for GPUs for me. He also wrote a response to the email about the good PC for that guy who was emulating last week, wanted to emulate consoles. old consoles. He said, what you guys talked about was good and all, but there are two options I would consider before laptop hunting. Either an AMD APU Micro ATX build, which basically means one of the processors from a PlayStation 4 or Xbox One in a small build, or the new Raspberry Pi 2. Other than Wii emulation, the Pi is great as an emulation machine. So you're not wrong, Jake, but the Raspberry Pi 2 is going to require a lot more setup, and so is an AMD APU Micro ATX build. That's going to have to be a custom build. It's probably not going to be able to do that for as cheap as getting a laptop, which is why we suggested it. He wanted a cheap option. But both of those are decent options. The Raspberry Pi 2 is pretty powerful compared to the Raspberry Pi, so it'd be a pretty awesome option if you want to emulate. All right, it is now time for 90 Seconds with Joel, a part of the podcast where Joel talks about whatever he wants for 90 seconds, but Joel is not here. James, do you know if he's coming back? Has he said anything?
I've not gotten a message.
He had to take a phone call for business reasons. That's okay. But we have Debbie stepping in with 90 Seconds with Debbie.
Yay!
Part of the podcast where Debbie tries to keep her vision focused on one thing and stop drinking long enough to share a short story with us.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Turn the wine faucet off. The wine hose.
So, yesterday, this is a story that happened between me, Joel, and John, but mainly Joel and John because,
As usual.
Joel and John. Well, we got home from work, opened the door, and as soon as we opened the door, a wave of gasoline smell hit our nostrils and face and our whole body, and we literally fell to the ground. Not literally, but it was pretty strong. So what we did was we got all the animals out, we opened everything, opened all the windows, doors, whatever, and called the fire department to get over here and figure out where this gas was coming from. We don't have any gas appliances, so there shouldn't have been a problem. So the firemen come in, they're all walking around and just looking around for some sort of source of this gas smell. And John decides to text Joel saying, "Hey Joel, there are 6 shirtless firemen in my house." Sexy, not shirtless, sorry. He's correcting me.
Shirtless is implied.
Yeah, shirtless. And Joel was like, get a picture.
Of course. That's just a natural response expected from Joel.
While they're walking around our house, just looking for whatever. So he gets his laptop up and takes a picture of a pinup, just calendar picture.
Fireman.
Yeah, calendar fireman with their shirts off and sends it to Joel. And it was just weird. But yeah, they found out the smell. It came from a gas leak down the street from the gas station, went up our pipes, and it was all gross. But
Debbie, seeing John's in the background there, if you could just ask him for us, if he had to rate Joel's jealousy on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being steaming jealousy, and one being he just wants John in his life.
John, how jealous was Joel about the firemen in the house? 1 to 10. 10? Okay.
Well, someone has a lofty opinion of their firemen.
If he wasn't driving around yesterday, he would have been over.
Yeah.
And this is great too, Debbie. Jeff's in the chat, and he works with some of the local fire departments. So he's like, I might know some of these guys.
Yeah, I was wondering if he heard that call because he has this little scanner on.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when I'm like, John, just call 911. He couldn't even get a number. He wanted to call the non-emergency line. So he's like looking for a number, and of course it's past 5, so all the offices were closed. I'm like, John, I'm getting lightheaded. We need to get something over here quick. So.
Hold on, I'm just going to light a match so I can
All right,
see the phone
we're
number
gonna
in
add
the
Joel
We'll
book.
find it.
We're going to add Joel back into the podcast, everybody, and he is probably going to give us his 90 seconds as well, now that he's here. But thank you, Debbie. It was a pretty freaky story when it, like, walking into your house and smelling gas is pretty nuts.
Yeah, it was weird.
Welcome
Hey,
back,
Joel.
businessman.
Hey guys.
Look, he's still wearing a t-shirt.
How'd your-
What is
Shirtless. Joel, I've never seen you in actual business attire.
That's why he does everything on conference call.
Because I'm not dressing him yet. That's why.
We need Jeremiah to dress all of us. Well, except for James.
The day of my movie premiere, I'm gonna wake up, go to bed. Jeremiah's just gonna be waiting there. Hello there. He's gonna be my butler. He like puts it over me, ties my belt.
Or I'm just gonna rip you out of your bed by like grab one foot, yank you out, and be like, all right, midget, put this on. I'm gonna turn the shower on, just throw you straight through the bathroom into the shower. All right, Joel, it's time for your 90 seconds. Go. I'm so overwhelmed. All the vapors.
Actually, before we missed your singing mail time, so sing it really fast.
Mail time.
Good. I've got one more bit of mail.
You get that really consistent now, Joel. That's impressive.
Thanks.
He doesn't seem happy at all.
No.
All right.
Eyes are hurting today.
What's your thing?
No.
Lobotomy.
I said no to that.
Did you already tell the sexy fireman story?
Yes,
Yeah,
the
but
sexy
I kind of
fireman
want to hear
story.
your side of it.
Well,
I told my side. I want to hear your side.
okay, then I'm not going to tell that story. I'm going to tell the other story that I haven't shared yet about John. John came over to the house. We were going to watch some Sons of Anarchy together because we watched one episode together. And we're like, all right, but then we didn't watch one for like a couple months. And I've been tempted to cheat on him and just watch it without him. And then apparently John was thinking the exact same thing. He's like, I kind of am just going to cheat on Joel and watch the show without him. And then like literally that day I was like, hey, do you want to come and watch? He's like, yeah, I was totally going to do that. So before he comes over, Debbie messaged me, says that John was like cleaning his beard with some shampoo or whatever it is. It's probably a glorious thing to behold, I think.
It's beard oil, right, Debbie?
Yeah, it was his beard balm.
Yeah. What did you say, beer bong?
Beard balm.
Oh,
balm.
beer. Oh,
BALM.
okay. Yeah, so
I'm wearing some of it right now. So
He got the
soft.
same stuff.
he was liquoring up beforehand, and Debbie was just laughing. He's like, "What? You just getting ready to go over to Joel's house?" And
He
then
even took a bubble bath before.
That's my favorite part. He trimmed his beard. He took a bubble bath, and then he gently
liquored
applied beard balm to get the beard all
Loosened up
soft.
with a glass of whiskey.
He made himself a little drink to bring over.
he comes over. The very first thing I do, John sits down on the couch. I
This is so
immediately
Joel.
pull out a lighter and light a candle and bring it over on the little fingers. The best part is he didn't even say anything at all. I wasn't thinking anything like at all. I was just like, I like the smell of an apple candle, and I just realized I was like, it's just me and John. Like that's it. It was really
Like, how
funny.
many times do you light a candle just for you and your wife to sit down and watch something?
All the time though.
Okay,
So it's
good.
not unusual, but I just the coincidence. Like he sits down on there. There was a blanket on the couch.
Joel, the question that all the viewers want to know is that at the end, did John smell nice?
Oh yeah. I ain't gonna lie. John, if you're
Debbie, I'm
listening to
actually
this.
looking at picking up some of that beard balm.
You
That
should.
looks
Dave,
pretty
it's
sweet.
so soft. It's so soft. Touch
is
John's
really
beard
soft.
next time you see it.
You just smear it on your face, Jeremiah?
Ultra in the chat said, of course it was an apple candle.
It's because he's a fruit. Oh.
Oh, whoa. Too
I was just
far.
Sorry,
talking about his
I'm
love
done.
of apple.
All right. That's been 90 seconds with Joel. Part of the pod. Oh, wait. Lobotomies.
No.
Do you want to talk about lobotomies, Joel?
No,
Let's keep moving, guys. Let's Joel
the reason
save
why
it. Save it.
why is it so long about talking about it?
Okay. All right. Fine.
I wanted to ask you because I bet Jeremiah knows what it is about. Like I've heard about it, but I don't know exactly what it is and how they do it.
What
and
a
I bet
lobotomy
you could
is?
explain it to me how what goes on.
Yeah, I know what a
'cause
lobotomy
you know
is.
like everything. Like you know the
Why are
most
you putting-
obscure knowledge.
Why
I
are
was
you
just
putting me
curious.
on the spot for what a lobotomy is?
So if you were gonna lobotomize me, how would you do it?
I mean, okay, I guess like I don't have graders. I would sit you down. I would take an ice pick, put it about right there. I think it's on your left side, and you drive it like through the eye socket, not through the eye, but around the eye socket or the nasal cavity. I believe you can
geez.
too. It's to disable part of the brain. I think it's to get scar tissue on a section of the brain or to hurt a section of the brain. I think you can remove it, or like the common way was just to damage it so it didn't work anymore, and it would like calm people down, which is another word of saying make them mentally retarded.
Because I read
I don't mean that in an offensive way. Like it would actually slow down their mental faculties, or just calm them down. That's the problem. Is like it's hard to find great information about it, about like what qualifies as a lobotomy. Like a lobotomy could just be we got a piece of his brain out. He don't talk so much anymore. That woman minds me now. She does the dishes. She doesn't remember who her kids are, but she's real quiet and respectful.
Yeah, she puts the dishes away in the barn afterwards.
I love your southern accent, Jeremiah.
Just so why, Joel? I actually do have a southern accent that I worked very hard on suppressing.
Yeah, but I like when it comes out every once in a while.
Oh, that's not my actual accent, Joel.
I know. Well, whenever you do that, I like it.
Okay, all right, good.
It's good old boys.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about lobotomy. No, I saw it in some article, and it was just like I just couldn't believe like that's something they did back then. Like they got away with it. Like
we also used to own people.
Crap? Well,
it was like, oh, I can't believe we would stick ice picks in people's brains. Like we also used to cut people to let the bad blood get out.
Well, guys, did you hear North Carolina last week settled a lawsuit where they're giving away $50,000? Not giving away. They're settling for $50,000 a person for patients that were sterilized by the state in the late 1960s.
It was a significant amount of people too.
Yeah, like what was it? Like over 100,000, right? It was a huge amount of people were sterilized by the state in the 1960s.
Oh, so small correction. I did double check lobotomies. It's the prefrontal lobe. You're trying to sever the brain's connection to the prefrontal lobe. So you can do that with the ice pick or like other types of surgery or whatever. And it leaves them in like a vegetative state.
Jeez.
But it's for people, it was for people with really bad mental illness. Like strong schizophrenia
it's basically
and stuff like that.
You wouldn't kill them. You would just mentally kill them, and that was somehow okay. I mean, that's basically lobotomies. Back to mail time. Honey Dip wrote into casualshenanigans@gmail.com, just like you can. He wrote in a couple weeks ago. Remember, Dave? He dropped the link to the PC Part Picker link in your Twitch chat, and then he sent it in and we talked about it. He has sent an updated build, and Dave, let me send that to you really quickly. It went to the Casual Shenanigans email. Look in the show notes right now.
Okay.
There's the link under mail time. He sent an updated build.
Should we let Debbie do it this time?
Debbie doesn't care though, does she?
Do what?
Look over Honey Dip's build. Yeah, you're not even paying attention, are you?
The panic.
No. You don't have to, Debbie. That's fine. I haven't even thrown the Minecraft server up, so I don't know what else you're doing right now. But Honey Dip's new build is an Athlon 860K quad core, ASRock motherboard, 8 gigs of memory, Western Digital 1 terabyte hard drive, R9 270 graphics card, middle of the road Corsair case, and an EVGA 500 watt power supply. What do you think, Dave?
Your paste did not work, so I just got it up on the screen from the email.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I'm not familiar with the CPU, obviously, but everything else looks really solid.
Well, for gaming...
Which CPU was it?
It's the AMD X4 860K. It's one of their quad-core FM2 processors, one of their APUs. I would not recommend it. For the money, for the games he wants to play, I would get the Intel G3250, I think it is. The dual-core everyone loves. It's $60, overclocks like a boss. For gaming, that's your best bet for under $100. Unless you get a used i5 750 like we did for the Potato Masher. And then for the video card, the R9 270, $174 is too much to pay for an R9 270. For that price, I would stretch a tiny bit and just get a GTX 960. If you want to,
actually, I've seen 280s on sale.
Yeah, I'd say a 280
today.
You could probably get for that amount.
Yeah.
If you want to get an R9 270, save a little money, you can get one for like $120, $130, no problem. So I would probably do that. But the rest of the build looks pretty solid. Like you can't go wrong with this build. But that's not what I would recommend.
If they're playing Witcher, they can eat some of that cost on the 960.
That's true. Like I will be. Okay. So before we, since we had a lot of delays and the podcast went down and everything else, do we want to do our main topic this week or do we want to save it?
No, let's save it. I think we're going to dig into it more. I like this topic a lot.
Well, Debbie, you'll just have to come back on then when we talk about it. Because because it was a pretty interesting topic.
I had so much to talk about too.
About it? Mm-hmm. Really? Okay, yeah, well, we'll have you back on
It's
next week,
Skyrim
probably.
related, of course.
Yeah,
Debbie's
it's
gonna dive
200%
in.
Skyrim related.
Now, guys, there's a chance next week, the podcast is going to be on Friday. I possibly have a freelance job that'll take up all my time on Thursday. I honestly don't know for sure yet because they have not confirmed with me. But if that happens, the podcast will be Friday next week, and we will be talking about our main topic, which is something really interesting. It was actually suggested by one of you. But before we wrap down tonight, I wanted to just let you guys know of some very popular guests on the podcast who are coming back in a couple weeks. Joel, we want to talk about that real quick?
No. Oh, wait. Sorry. I was actually.
Did you just say no?
No, I don't want to. Sorry. Say that again. I literally blinked out for like 2 seconds. I missed the last bit.
We've got some very popular guests on the podcast who are going to be coming back in a couple weeks.
That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said. Yeah, the Dark Souls 2. That's coming up really soon. As you all know, Bloodborne's coming out soon. All you
Is
PC
it now?
gamers.
What's Bloodborne? Tell me more.
I've got my controller ready. It's been sleeping with me for a couple weeks now.
I mean, it's gross.
Please wash it first for Bloodborne.
Now, Bloodborne comes out on the 24th, and if you have PS4 and you preload it, you can start preloading on the 22nd, and I'm planning to take that Tuesday
You need that long.
off.
You need that
Or
long to
Thursday.
download a 40 gigabyte PS4 game over their network.
I know. I'm planning to take that Tuesday off to play.
You're not buying
so.
a disc copy, Joel?
No.
Just-
This is never
he
going to
doesn't-
come out. Ever.
It's never gonna come out. I'm gonna wake up, drive across the street to Walmart, walk in, pick it up, and be like, "Cool. I'm glad I can sell you later." And then go
Joel
home.
will not sell it later, number one.
Yeah,
Number
yeah.
two,
Yeah.
he does
For
not like to
games-
get up and put a disc in.
Oh, I can get that.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
like, I can understand.
What?
I
No,
enjoy being able to flip
you
between a
get
game
that.
to another game super quick. Same way I have on PC.
Yeah, okay, you're the
guys don't
same
buy
person who was
discs?
complaining. You're like, on the PC, okay, you can't just like one click install a game. I'm like, yeah, you have to click the game, then click install, and then click confirm. He's like, yeah, on the PS4, you can just like click one button and it downloads. Like, Joel, the extra 2 clicks is that big of a deal? And it was, apparently, the extra 2 clicks. So popping in a disc is also a big deal. And the biggest thing is,
I
Joel,
never said it's a big deal, but like,
Joel
it's
wants to
really
hit the
nice.
buy button. He wants to hit the buy button and not think about it again. till
What
it's
is
ready
so
to be
wrong
played.
with getting a digital game? There's so many people that love buying a digital. Why? What's so wrong with that?
I get
There's
the
nothing.
digital actually, but
Because I can't get 60% of my investment back in 2 months.
Dude, I've been playing so much of Dark Souls, like so much. The only reason I sold my Xbox is because I had to go for paying for Norman. If it wasn't for that, I'd be playing the crap out of it.
I'm pretty sure you
How about
sold your
Demon's
Xbox
Souls?
to pay for a certain PS4
sorry,
for a certain someone.
Sorry, that was for a certain someone
about
because
Demon's
of
Souls?
Bloodborne.
What happened to Demon Souls?
That's Norman Xbox for someone else's PS4.
That was PS3. But anyway,
like, I was just curious though, Joel. Like, you don't like getting like box copies of games that you're gonna keep for a long
No.
time. You don't like that?
No.
Joel hates
I don't
buying
really
box copies of any game.
The only
No,
thing
you have said you
Yeah.
hate physical discs.
the
You
only
hate
thing I
having to
like
get up
having
and put a
physical
disc in.
boxes of are movies. Like I do love having movies, just because the Blu-rays are always better than any digital stuff generally.
I'm the exact opposite. I want to like any Blu-rays I own, they're like tucked away, buried somewhere in storage where I don't have to look at them. I get them, rip them to my hard drive, and then put them in storage. And then for games, I much prefer to have discs so I can sell them later. So I don't have all the game. I don't like them sitting around. I want to just have like the 2 or 3 games I'm playing and then sell them as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy a game on disc if I know I'm gonna completely just not play it after like one day. You know, like Call of Duty or something that I know I'm never gonna play multiplayer,
Right,
or play a lot. I'll usually just get on disc and then sell it back. But man, I mean, I love using the PlayStation app and just click and sit, and then it will just download. Especially with the PS Plus games, I go on the app, click on like the add to library, and it's fun. I'll get home and it's downloaded, and I'll try them out. So.
You gotta watch the
yeah.
one-click stuff though. Our former coworker of ours actually 2 weeks ago, accidentally while browsing Amazon late at night on his phone, he accidentally one-click ordered a $900 toilet.
Wait, what?
What? Who?
John, I don't want to say his last name on the stream, but
I think I know which one it is.
developer. He and the great part was they didn't open until like later that morning, and so he missed like the window of them like boxing it up, and he had to wait for them to ship it to his door and like not accept the shipment at his front door. So his credit card was charged a $900 toilet for like 2 weeks until he could get it refunded.
I don't like want to ask the obvious question. What does $900 get you for a toilet? Like, is that a
What
good
does
toilet?
it get you?
Is that a good
Built-in
toilet, or is that
bidet.
just like a basic
like a-
porcelain toilet?
Is it like the Japanese type toilets that like clean your butt?
Yeah, that's the bidet.
A bidet.
Yeah.
Bidet.
Not a
That's not
bidet. That's not a bidet.
A bidet for your
A
bidet.
Amazon
guys
has
ever seen the
everything
Happy
Ultra
Butt?
What are you talking about?
Have you guys ever
What?
seen the Happy Butt infomercial?
No,
It's amazing.
we're not going
look it
to
up
watch
later.
that just now.
It's a bidet. It's a
But the-
bidet infomercial, but it's pretty amazing.
But to finish advertising for the podcast coming up, the Dark Souls 2 guys, they have a podcast. Search it up. It's called the Dark Souls 2. They do awesome podcasts, going through like each level of Dark Souls, talking about the lore, hidden weapons and things like that. It's not so much as a complete walkthrough where they spoil everything, but they give you a lot of background stuff, and they're hilarious guys. They know what they're talking about. But excited to have them back on. We're gonna be talking about Bloodborne. So we'll have 2 days, 48 hours of straight Bloodborne action. And then, yeah, so anyone who is a strictly PC Master Race, you can just tune out of that podcast. Just go ahead and skip that week.
They're real awesome guys, and we're really looking forward to having them back.
That was
It's gonna
such
be
a fun
really great time.
podcast back in the
Yeah.
day. I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So that's March 26th, 2 days after Bloodborne releases, right?
Yep.
So let's hope those servers work on launch day. Otherwise, that's going to be a real boring podcast.
Well,
let's
I mean,
wonder,
it's
like,
going to be a
how-
single player game, so you don't have to worry too much about it.
How bloodshot are Joel's eyes going to be? Like at that point, 2 days in.
Dude, when the game like unlocks on the PS4, it's going to be...
You don't blink for 2 days. Like you come to the podcast,
Joel
and you have to,
tape his eyelids open.
your podcast that day is going to be the first time you blink in a couple days. Like you have to close your eyelids manually. Like
Okay, I have to brag a little bit on my wife about this. She just started playing Dark Souls 2 with me, and she was just playing a little bit ago for about an hour and a half with me. Dude, she is cleaning up at this game. She's embarrassing you guys. Like, she's really
That's
surprising
not that
me.
hard to do.
But I'm like, dang, she's doing really good in the game. Like, I'm really impressed. She's like
Nice.
landing jumps, like complicated jumps.
that's what I can't do is the jumping and the rolling.
She's got the dodge rolling down, like she's got that mastered. She's just like roll, just gets away from everything. I'm like, holy crap! So I'm really enjoying playing with her. So if you guys want to play sometime, our characters are pretty much back to where you are, Jeremiah. Now.
Oh, yeah. Can we play tonight after this?
Yeah. I'm gonna see if Joy wants to play for a little bit before she falls asleep. But
Cool.
Dave, are you getting excited about Bloodborne?
Well, I haven't figured out how to install the disc in my computer yet, but I'm sure I'll get there. Like there'll be a mod. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
PC.
there's a
There'll
PC
be a
mod,
mod.
so.
Dave, what are you going to do, like, while we're all at the beach playing Bloodborne? Like, what are you going to do?
My tower's got handles.
Okay.
He's gonna be sitting at the table collecting scraps on the floor.
You can just bring your tower, play Dark Souls 2, turn the contrast way up and the brightness down. It'll look just like Bloodborne. It'll be fine.
Hey guys, remember this coming Tuesday? You know what we're all doing? The 10th, GTA heists. Did you guys read the review for them?
Oh, no, I didn't.
A 3-hour long heist, like full, like I think it's 6
Bye,
steps.
Dave.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, we're gonna have so much fun with the heists, and then finally Bloodborne, and then the beach. This is a
And
good
then,
time.
more
the
importantly,
beach, you
before
can't do
the
the
beach,
beach either, Dave.
I can
Go to the beach without a PS4.
more importantly, before the beach, April 3rd, Fast and the Furious 7. I'm looking for midnight releases right now. I'm so excited. Oh,
Dude,
this
I will
looks
catch
so
up.
good.
I'll go with
What
you.
day is that?
I'll catch up on the movies. and go
April
with you.
3rd. Dave, or Joel, have you finished watching them yet?
No, I haven't finished watching.
Come on, man. I loaned you the Blu-rays. Other people want those. There's a line.
I'm
Wait, we
sorry.
need an update. Did you do your Back to the Future marathon?
No, Mark was sick and wasn't able to make it. And then something else came up on another Saturday. I think it was my fault. Something else came up and we had to move it. We're still trying to do it. It just hasn't happened yet.
That would be a good beach trip marathon.
Before we wrap up, I got a question for Joel. Joel, what's the PS4 fund up to now?
PS4, $60.
All right.
Wow.
All right, man. So if I return my 970, I got an email from Newegg yesterday. I can get a full refund, so I can get $315 back on the 970. If I add your $60 to it, I'm only like $120 away from a 980 at that point. So
That's pretty good.
math-
Look
the
at
math
the
is checking
anger.
out.
Dude, look at the anger in his
just
face.
bring your video card to the beach trip where we're all playing Bloodborne together as brothers, and you're just the guy over there looking at the box of your video card.
see,
That-
I wouldn't be able to hear you guys over the fan anyway. So it worked out.
Dude, you could probably sit on that freaking thing and fly over the ocean.
No, that'd be my 290. When those fans get going, there's 3 of them, and I'm pretty sure they could achieve liftoff. All right, before we go, we're going to very briefly talk about what we've been playing this week. We're going to start with Debbie, since she's not our guest, but she's, not on the podcast as often. And we talk over her a lot of the time, so.
I'm the token. Sitting in the corner.
Take a joke every once in a while. Jeez.
Debbie, you actually are in the corner on Skype
Now
for me.
she's the
No,
broken
she's in the
token.
middle on my Skype. She's in the middle.
Okay.
Can you guess what I've been playing?
Minecraft.
This
Mostly.
week, yes.
Entirely all Minecraft.
Entirely.
What
I
do
was
you-
gonna hop on some Skyrim today, but
Yeah, no Skyrim for the snow, Debbie? I'm disappointed.
I know, I wanted to knit instead.
Well, that's acceptable for a snow day, I guess.
I think my wife thinks that's acceptable for literally every single day ever.
It's true.
All of them.
Midsummer.
All the
knitting.
free time.
So what are you working on? Like, what are you working on in the CSG Minecraft server? How's our CSG Minecraft server coming along?
It's going along well. I am making this Petra Egyptian temple, and you tried to make a pool in the back, and it looks lovely, and I just kind of added onto it.
Debbie, stop patronizing me. She condescends to me every time. She's like, it's lovely. I'm redoing everything you did because it's a terrible, sucky pit full of not water.
No, you tried really hard. That's the effort.
She's so condescending.
That's amazing.
I'm not a child. I just had to quit early.
You get an A for effort.
You get a sticker.
You get a star for the day.
But only a silver star, though. Let's not go crazy.
And John built a Viking pirate ship outside my temple, so it
Oh,
looks pretty
dang. I
cool.
want to go look at
That's
that.
cool.
What?
It's in the making, so you should come see it. And he's putting like cannons in it and stuff that work.
I built a roller coaster if anyone wants to ride.
That was a cool roller coaster.
It's something. It's interesting.
It was nice.
She's so condescending.
Jeez.
See if I ever
It
play
was
with
a
you
good
again,
job.
Debbie.
You did a good job.
Oh, it was lovely.
Debbie, I'm putting the server back up now. All right, you got
Jeremiah-
these.
Jeremiah, you know what this is revenge for? It's all the times that you've patronized Debbie and DayZ. She's getting her
Yes.
revenge in
Oh,
Minecraft.
what do you mean when I've patronized her when she's like, "Hey guys, I'm starving to death. By the way, can the can opener open food? Because I have both of those." That's when I patronized Debbie.
Come loot my dead body. I've got a ton of food on me and water.
Or H1Z1 when Debbie's been excited about it for like 6.5 years, and then 2 weeks after the game's release or into early access, she gets lost, like she can't find her way north. Yeah.
Okay, I have to say something. I've been working really hard to learn that map, and I'm pretty confident now that I can find you anywhere. I'm getting to the Dave level. Like, if you tell me
Yeah,
where the
it-
tree
whoa,
is, I'll
no,
find
she's-
it.
Whoa.
Exactly.
Whoa.
That's what I'm
She is
looking
actually
forward
really
to.
good at finding people. I can attest to that.
Yes, thank you,
One
James.
the one game I played this week, she met up with me and then she logged off.
Yeah, Debbie. So I've been looking forward to playing H1Z1 with you. So we got to try that again. Now,
Okay.
if you're good with the
Let's do it.
navigation, we'll
Yes.
give it another try.
I have a compass too, so it helps.
Yeah, it's definitely one game we can play all together. You know,
That won't crash.
something that Dave can play too, that he'll have. After next week, Dave. I'm so sorry.
Dude, when GTA 5 comes out on PC, I'll be able to see so freaking far. You guys don't even know.
No, man.
That draw distance is going to blow my mind.
That's the only friend I need. Draw distance.
There's people everywhere in the game. I don't need my friends. There's a guy walking there and there.
Why are you running away from me?
All right, Dave. What are you playing this week?
Lots of Shadows of Mordor still. Lots of Attila. I have two single player campaigns I'm playing with, like on the side, outside of our ridiculous numbers of hours in our Viking campaign.
You guys have got to see what's coming next in the Viking campaign. Like, I don't even know how to describe what's been going on in there. It's something.
One of the most Viking things I've seen in a Total War game ever. It should be pretty sweet. Outside of that, I'm looking forward to playing DayZ again. Maybe this weekend, James. The hotfix is out and the crashing has stopped. So I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
bet
be
that.
working on Norman this weekend.
Are you in town this weekend?
Dave,
Maybe.
Hope's gone all Saturday afternoon and evening, so I'll be at home with literally nothing to do all evening. Just throwing that out there.
So get your beard ready.
Are you opening yourself
Take
to
a bubble
DayZ
bath.
all weekend, though?
Not all weekend.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
The footage hasn't aired yet, so I don't want to give it all away. But like after the stable patch came out last week, we found our first player camp ever in DayZ standalone, which was really exciting. It had a truck, tons of weapons and stuff, but the game was crashing like every 20 minutes at best. So like the amount of times we died to physics glitches while crashing and stuff, it was super frustrating to like hit that high, like we found stuff at first camp, and then like we can't do anything with it because the game won't stop crashing. I'm looking forward to actually jumping back in now. I really am at this point. I just wish it had worked last week.
James, what are you playing?
I played a few minutes of H1Z1. That's pretty much it. Like, I've not had time to play this week. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I spent like 30 minutes meeting up with Debbie. And then she logged off.
Yeah, well, I was tired.
No, you weren't. You played Minecraft right after.
Oh, right. That's why.
She's not even pretending. If anyone's curious, she's not connected to the server right now.
I gave you a gun though, James. So that's something, right?
That's something.
Hold on.
Ooh.
You got a top though, Debbie. I was making up for accidentally killing James the week before. I took him to an entire campsite full of guns, so I've kind of set the bar pretty high.
All right.
Was that last week or this past
last
weekend
week.
that we played DayZ?
Campsite
When it was
was
completely broken.
last Thursday, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Joel, what have you been playing?
Dark Souls 2 with my
Dark
wife.
Souls.
That's like the sexiest thing she's ever done.
Did you say Dark Souls and my wife?
Joel!
That's either a really low bar for your wife or...
I was just checking.
Now you check behind you.
Joel, that was
We just see the
horrible.
dagger protrude from Joel's rib cage all of a
Look,
sudden.
Debbie, I think I understand what Joel was trying to say. Like, as also a husband, if my wife showed interest in not like, if she was interested in getting into a really hardcore PC game and she was also immediately really good at it, that's pretty sexy.
I was just saying she was super cute playing because she's awesome. It was just fun playing that game because she usually plays Lego games and stuff like that. She
Cute than
loves
Jeremiah
playing Borderlands
playing it,
with me.
let's be honest.
What's that? What'd you say?
Not quite as cute as Jeremiah playing it, but close.
She's probably not as profane as I am when she's playing.
Debbie, just don't tell John because
I'm telling him.
I know he's
I'm
felt
so mad I'm
sad
telling
not playing
him.
Dark Souls with me, but I'm like, I could be playing Dark Souls.
Jeez.
I want to play. I know he wants to so badly. So
Each time you
games I
play
played
and I
this week-
see
play
it,
Dark Souls. That's what I meant.
Joel, each time you play it and I see it on Steam, I just yell to John, Joel's cheating on you!
And then
When he plays
I go
Dark
hidden
Souls?
or whatever.
Not
I
you,
go
not with you.
offline.
I forgot to mention too, because of Joel, I'm up to 23 hours in Dark Souls 2 now. It's actually pretty awesome. But dude,
Yeah, playing
Joel,
with Dave,
Joel
playing with
texts me on
Jeremiah.
average twice a day. I've just started lying to him at this point. Like, yeah, I'll be there soon.
I really do want to
ARMA
play
3
Joel.
launch.
No, I've been playing that. I beat Alien Isolation.
How was it? How was the ending?
Loved it. Excellent ending, I think. I mean,
Nice.
I loved it. So I'm playing through the DLC. The 1 hour DLC has no save points. It's just the ending of the first Alien movie. It's really good,
that
but it's
sounds
freaking
awesome.
hard though. It's much harder than the main game, I'd say. But when it ramps, like towards the end of Alien Isolation, it ramps up, and graphics are just phenomenal towards the end. Like some of the environments you see and multiple aliens. But yeah, it's awesome. So
I wasn't scared at all.
Dave played like 40 minutes of it the other day, and that will be the last 4 minutes. 40
It
minutes.
was more than an hour. It was great too because Joel was like, dude, I could tell from your voice you were so excited to see me get trapped in that room where I had to get to this huge room and get to an elevator and like get the door closed to get out of that area. He knew it was going to be like a little sandbox spot where I was going to be hunted by the alien. But I listened. There's like a little cutscene where the alien kills some survivors. And I listened to it move away. I'm like, okay, from Joel's tone of voice, I knew that if I didn't do something immediately, I was going to end up like crawling around for 45 minutes to get out of this room. So as the alien walked away, I like fast crawled basically and scooted right into the elevator in like 15 seconds and closed it and exited the area. Joel was so disappointed. I
was like, because when I got there, I died like twice in that area because I didn't realize there was going to be hunting.
I can tell from your voice now if you're watching me play Aliens what's about to happen.
I know. I can't keep secrets even when we're playing Dark Souls too. I'm like, yeah, there's treasure over here. It's just I can't do it because part of me wants to be like, oh, if Dave dies, he's gonna probably be pissed and not want to play the game. So I want to tell him what's gonna come
That's
next.
Jeremiah.
But then I also that's true. But I also want to be like, I don't want to tell him just because it's so funny. Oh, can I tell the one time you just flipped out?
Me?
Yeah, that was amazing. I told Joy about it. We
Sure.
both cried laughing. Like, it was hilarious. We're playing Dark Souls 2. you can get a ring in the game that allows you to summon just your friends a lot easier. And he didn't have it yet, so we were still having troubles trying to find each other, summon each other, whatever. He finally gets, he's like, all right, this is how it should be. You should be able to summon your friends, just jump in and just have lots of fun. As he's saying fun, he falls off. He just goes, but he's not like a funny, like saying the word. He like was legitimately angry, like rage. But I died because it was just like so perfect, and I just yelled, "I love this game!" Because he's just like, "Yeah, I'm having fun." Shit.
Sounds like Dark Souls.
It was good times for me.
Well, Joel, since it was such a good time, how about you start taking us through the end of the podcast here?
Okay.
How about you start taking it?
Yeah, thanks everyone for listening. As always, you can subscribe on iTunes. You can go to
and vamp
Is that
for a
what you-
minute because I got
Okay.
something to show everybody. Just keep
Oh, nice.
going.
Yeah, you can go to GermGaming at YouTube, so you can check out his YouTube channel. That's where all the cool PS4 comparison videos are. Check out Dave's channel at Evil Viking 13.
It's just Total War now.
It's just Total War.
Just Total
Don't worry,
War.
no more Battlefield stuff. He's just got a lot of that. There's not even much DayZ, so if you enjoy RTS games and learning about history along the way, that's what you should subscribe to
Also,
that.
don't come to my channel.
You can follow our Twitter handle at casualshenanigans. Email us some questions, let us know what you like, what you don't like, and if people have new ideas, something we should talk about, if we keep somehow missing a topic that you guys really want us to talk about, let us know.
And where can they email us, Joel? You got it, dude. You got it. No, don't look.
No, casualshenanigans@gmail.com.
There it is.
Yeah, for some I was thinking, we're like, we don't have an info at casualshenanigans.com yet. So,
No, we don't.
Yeah. So, don't email there because that will just go to nothing.
This image.
Also,
come back-
if you like the podcast, give us a review. That'd be awesome. We'd love to get some of that because that really helps us out. For the
Really helps
iTunes
out.
as
To
well.
get some of that review, guys.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, favorite. New patch you leveled in Jeremiah. Never do that again.
Jeremiah's
I'm
a sneaky
donating, I'm
snake.
donating.
Sneaky snake.
I'm getting out my wallet.
All right, and that's the podcast. Come back next week. We'll try to have Debbie back because she had lots to talk about for this topic, and it is a really good topic. So thank you, Danny, who suggested it. We haven't forgotten. We do intend on doing it. And with that, Debbie, thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Can you take us out this evening?
Stay casual, guys, and drink wine.